Just getting warmed up.
Piece of poop. I'm super excited. Apple tomorrow is going to announce a clothing line.
Are you going to line up as soon as we're done to go be first?
It's gonna be their wearable technology. Why else would you invite 300 members of the fashion media to a tech announcement?
Just to spice things up, maybe?
Yeah.
Is it just the announcement, or they're actually selling it tomorrow?
Oh, they're not going to sell it tomorrow.
Oh, I thought it was.
No parts have leaked for this new thing, so it's not going to be available for 6 months.
Mm.
Kim, you have your super hot voice on again, just so you know.
I have not moved anywhere.
And I've lowered her volume. Jason!
I just took my opportunity to say that.
Alright.
Hello?
But plus, I need a new iPhone because this one, the mute switch, forgets it's muted every once in a while. It's really weird. Hey, YouTube viewers, how's it going? Oh yeah, there's nobody watching.
Good.
Aww.
Too good for us, huh?
Yeah, they are.
Just in
That's
repeats.
fine. We're not just in reruns. Come on, man.
I still can't hear Jason.
Yeah, me neither. Jason! What you do?
Turn your mic on. Check the input.
Jason! He's trying to mute and unmute, which worked for me earlier. What's going on?
Check your input.
Oh yeah.
So did anyone watch football on Sunday? Just me? Okay.
I'm not watching any football this year at all. That's my
Why? Because you don't?
No, I usually watch every game. Almost literally every game, and I decided that it was just too time consuming, and I don't really give a shit, so I stopped watching.
Jesus. It sounds pretty time consuming if you're hitting every game. You didn't fast forward through any?
Well, you know,
Every
some of them
game.
I'd watch highlights, but I'd basically watch almost everything. Everything.
Huh.
So no Super Bowl?
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna watch Super Bowl either.
Wow.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Well, I've already booked my tickets for 3 games this year.
You guys call it soccer up there?
Football.
How's that?
American football.
No, still nothing?
Yes.
I got you! We got you, Jason.
I have to set this up in 3 different places.
Yeah,
There we go.
Jason is here! Yeah, baby!
Oh shit.
I have no video tonight.
Neither do I. Oh, good.
That's fine.
Me and Ilario are running dual video. But we're just pretending to be each other.
It's just one person. We are the same.
Well, you've got the down below look of Stephanie.
Oh, yeah.
Is this the down below
down
podcast?
on us? No, it's just that stuff looks down on us. That's
Here,
all.
or you could have this view.
So, we're live on YouTube. We have 4 viewers. We did have 5.
Hey!
Now we just have 4. So whoever left screaming and crying and bitching and moaning, we don't need you anyway.
Good on ya.
I have my, in honor of the Harris family, I have my Kraken rum. Because it's booze and there are tentacles.
Have you released it yet?
Good call.
Oh, yes, I have released the Kraken, and I'm almost done. My first dose.
I'm off the soda,
By the way.
and I'm drinking an iced tea tonight.
Yay.
Oh, good for you. Drink water instead.
Hey,
Here's my original
one step at a
iPhone.
time.
In honor of what'll probably be released tomorrow, which will be 4 times the size of this thing.
This is a lightsaber TV remote. Because I felt like sharing.
What? Whoa!
Oh,
Show
I have
that to
something
me.
to share. I have something cool to share.
See?
From Dragon Con? Oh, that's
No.
amazing, Robin.
It's just like a friend of mine.
Robin, that is one of the single greatest, most amazing things I've ever seen in my life.
Looks like it was made in '97.
Yeah, it's still amazing.
I don't think it's compatible with anything.
This is what I got at Dragon Con.
What is it?
It's a calendar.
Oh, nice.
Oh, for a second I thought you were showing something else.
And I got this signed. Well, where's it?
What is it?
Back it up, Stephanie.
Back it up.
Back it in.
Oh, did she
A
sign the
bunny.
money?
She signed it.
figure?
Yeah.
Oh, Emma Caulfield.
Yeah.
You got
And
a
then
signed bunny? Oh, that's awesome.
Anyanka.
She wasn't.
So is that
I mean,
bunny?
She was friendly enough, I guess, but
Mhm.
not. She wasn't like Christine Sutherland was last year.
No. No, but see the guy dressed as the hotel carpet?
Yes, that was great.
He does that every year.
Why does he dress like the
Hotel
carpet?
So that he can lie down on it and people take his picture and he's quote unquote camouflaged. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I'll send y'all. I'll put some pictures
Yeah.
in the.
You should post them up,
group.
man.
Yeah.
But what if someone
Go to
steps
this
on his
awesome thing
face?
and not share. No. He's not actually perfectly camouflaged. It looks like a guy's lying down.
I mean,
Oh, okay.
you know, I haven't been to many cons. I've only been to Dragon Con and Comic Con. But the feeling I get that Dragon Con is, for cosplayers, the mecca. It just seems
Like
to
a high
have.
mecha cosplay ho.
Yeah. It's just.
Hi,
the
everyone.
costumes are fantastic.
Sweet.
All right, we ready?
Sure.
I say yes. Steph, are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's do this thing.
Let me just turn down my telly.
You mean off, right? Because you're a professional?
Yep. It's turned all the way down.
Off, because you're a pro, right?
Yeah, I can turn it off. I can always look out the window.
Fantastic.
Ready?
Yep.
Oui, je suis prêt. That's French for I'm ready.
Okay.
If you were a man.
Is that right?
If you were a man, it would be right.
What am I supposed to say?
Je suis prête.
That's what I said.
No, you said je suis prêt.
Well, which means?
I'm ready, but in the masculine.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Steph. I'm just being
Okay.
Canadian.
All right. You're listening to Season 6, Episode 16, Hell's Bells. All hell breaks loose at Xander and Anya's wedding after a man claiming to be from the future convinces Xander that Anya's future life will be far better without him. My name is Stephanie.
This is Kimberly. I'm not Gabby.
And I'm Illyrio.
And I'm not Gabby either.
I'm Gabby.
Oh, no, you're not.
Or I'm
Awesome.
Jason.
Gabby could not be with us tonight. She is dealing with work stuff.
Okay, there was something about, I don't know.
accepting this podcast on her behalf is Robin.
I'm assuming that there's going to be a commentary.
Yes, I believe you're correct.
So,
free feedback.
How's bells, guys?
Okay, I feel like this is difficult to talk about because I feel like if we react, say, oh, this is the worst episode ever, I hate this episode, this is so depressing, this is so sad, then you're going to assume, oh, well, they never get back together. But if we're like, oh, well, you know, yeah, it's kind of sad, but, you know, it's okay, it'll, or whatever, I don't know. You would assume, oh, well, they're going to get back together next week. So I feel like it's going to be really hard to react to this.
mm-hmm.
Well, can I react?
Yes, go right ahead.
Go ahead.
That's the best thing to do.
Because I loved this episode.
Okay.
Is it because you hate Anya so much? Is it because you hate Anya so much?
No, not at all. I thought Anya was perfect in this episode. She was just great.
Did you think Tara was the best maid of honor?
Ugh. Go away.
I thought that was your selling point.
No. I enjoyed this episode for what it was. I figured there wasn't going to be a wedding. If there was, it would have been between two random characters just so people can say there is a wedding, you know, but that didn't happen.
So you
I
didn't
expected them. No, I didn't expect them to get married at all.
Huh.
Because if they did, it would have been too perfect. You know what I mean? There has to be some sort of drama and Sunnydale. I didn't expect them to get married at all. No, it wasn't. But I didn't expect them to get. I don't know why. It's just that's the reason I had. I kept thinking, okay, what's going to happen to make them not get married? And then when that guy's like, you don't recognize me, I'm like, is that Xander from the future? And then he said that, I was like, oh, hell yes. I love this. I thought it was great. I really liked it. I wouldn't say that I was like, this is the best episode ever, but I wouldn't say that, oh, damn, this episode was the worst. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
This is in honor of Krelvin and the circus folk. I would like to react to this episode in the following manner. Xander Harris, go fuck yourself.
Why?
Apart from that, I thought this episode was amazing. Why what? Why should he go fuck himself?
Yeah.
Because given a tiny little bump at the wedding, he wimps out in the most colossal way possible. And for those of you who have already heard my commentary, you've heard me complain.
But it's not like his doubts came out of left field. You know what I mean?
I know. We were aware of his doubts since Once More with Feeling.
Yeah.
No, but that was resolved when they realized that their wedding and their marriage wasn't the same thing. And this old man, he played one. He made Xander look like a big dum-dum. And I was really, really pleased that when I said, wait, this is Xander from the future or something, and it turned out that he was, but then it turned out that he wasn't. And then there was a way that Anya read a line later that made me think that, oh man, maybe he is, and then immediately changed my mind again. The entirety of the episode was fantastic. Well executed. It was funny. It was charming. It was sad. It was depressing, and it also made me do hate Xander's guts. You know, the last time I hated Xander's guts, he was cheating on Cordelia. And
what's it with tuxedos?
That's a very good point, Robin. I didn't
Xander, don't put him in tuxedo, or he'll totally disappoint you.
I tell you, yeah. I was I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I can't stand what Xander did and how he just wimped out. It's awful, terrible.
Yeah.
I think you have to I think you have to consider the decades of abuse he's had under his parents.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to warp his view of relationships.
His dad is a complete dick.
His failing was mostly not talking about his doubts until they all built up on that one day.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's been scared of their relationship since it started, but they made it very clear in the musical episode.
Yeah, but Xander is a scared human. Xander's scared.
Yes.
He's scared.
I'm not saying Xander's right. I'm just trying to explain why he waited till the day of the wedding to.
So it works for you, Jason, that he walked out. It works.
Oh, absolutely.
For you. It makes sense.
Me too.
I never expected them to get married.
Me too.
Oh, I'm not confused, or I don't think it doesn't make sense. I just think he's being a total and utter just idiot. He shouldn't have done it.
Do you think if, for whatever reason, if Xander was marrying Buffy, he would have walked out?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, anybody.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. I think he can get into a healthy relationship space, but it has to start with talking about these fears, and he's never talked about them.
I don't know. It depends how much he would cherish Buffy as somebody he's lucky to have. He honestly, almost his entire relationship with Anya, it's him saying, "Oh, come on, Anya, stop being dumb." You know?
Yeah.
He has a fierce loyalty to Buffy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with Buffy, he'd, I guess, throw his back out and defending her. But yeah. I mean, I hate to simplify their relationship, but I really do think if he got Anya because their relationship started with her being in love with him or wanting to try a relationship with him because his arms are big. And with Buffy, it's he's painting like a dog forever.
Mm-hmm. But when the old man showed him the future, all their rifts sort of began with Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's all because in this nightmare that he created, he hurt himself defending her and then ended up getting her killed. So then turns into an alcoholic.
I think he's faking the injury for the benefit.
Insurance,
but,
But his hell also is a world without Buffy. Never mind a world with Anya. It's a world without Buffy.
Interesting.
You know?
Yeah. Spoilering us all over the place with that future vision.
Right, old man? So, yeah.
I like that Xander gets a little paunch to show his old age, and Anya gets this horrible face goop on her to show that she's old.
Yeah.
That was not a good makeup job.
I think it was just his paunch. I think they didn't mean to make him up at all.
No, I think they put certain clothes on him to make him look
thicker.
Less fit. Make him look stocky.
Well, he was wearing the tux through the entire flashback. It wasn't like they were making it look like he was future.
Yeah, he was still the same age, and he was wearing the tux.
Yeah, but Nicholas Brandon is in shape, but I think Xander is kind of Duffy looking, kind of stocky and what's the word? What is it where little boys wear? What's the size jeans that little
husky?
Husky. That's the word.
Husky.
Yeah, I had me a lot of husky jeans as a kid myself.
I think in Canada we had a brand of sneaker called Husky. But that's because it's
guys.
Canada. And, yeah.
It was named after the dog.
A dog.
Yeah.
Because we all have dog sleds to go to school in the morning.
Speaking of, it is snowing at Rachel Horn's house right now.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's hot as balls here.
It's because she doesn't like games
Alberta.
of the TV series. That's the only reason why.
In Alberta. In Alberta, they have a little bit of snow today. Calgary area, Edmonton area.
Oh,
That's not so
It's,
bizarro.
why would you live there?
Well, I mean, it's out of the ordinary. This is part of climate change.
It was
I wish
32
someone had
degrees
warned us.
Celsius here,
They don't
whatever that
understand
is
a
in
word.
Fahrenheit. But it was like 1,000
Hot.
degrees with the humidity. Gosh, I hate humidity.
Humidity is fantastic.
Ugh, no.
You experienced
my
that
back
last
from
week,
going
didn't you,
down.
Ilaria?
I enjoyed it.
Oh, how was the wedding in Florida?
It was fantastic. If you checked my Instagram, it's like being there.
It
Oh.
is. I felt like I was there on the dance floor.
Dance floor and wedding photos and all. It was great. It was lovely. It was.
I have to go check that out.
You do. Also, we have a new kitten.
Yes, I
The
saw
whole world knows.
Crocodile.
Croco.
Croco beware.
He's fantastic.
Just what a little girl needs.
Yeah, and unfortunately, she hogs him, and her brother's
Aw.
not too pleased because he wants to play with the cat too. He has a gentle
Crocodile.
heart. So yeah, I gotta tell you guys, this episode started off with some really, really crappy dresses, and then continued to kind of be the stereotypical wedding thing.
But it wasn't. It wasn't. It was
families at
great.
odds and
It was great how like Anya was being very deconstructionalist about the whole wedding thing, like not breaking down like what she's willing to make vows about, and also like why can't I see him? That doesn't make any sense. We're gonna believe in these stupid traditions. Like I just want him to see me in my dress like immediately. I thought it was beautiful.
I love the whole the trope about telling the bride a lie why why they stalling the wedding. That's such a trope that you've seen a million times. It was
He had to go deliver a baby. Was it a C-section or something? Yeah.
I love that Buffy starts talking about the minister, and then getting into minotaurs, and then talking about bulls, and then later she's like making what was it? She was making jokes about a bull or something. Like she was just obsessed with a bull this episode.
She was doing charades.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, and when she did that, somebody called out. Come on, Robin, help me out.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Lauren's last name.
Kreplornswath?
Yeah. Deathwalk Clan.
Deathwalk Clan, yes.
Yeah.
Somebody called that out.
Someone wants to say goodnight.
Ha! That's really
Crocodile?
You gonna say goodnight?
Good night.
Good
night.
Good night.
I just waved to my computer screen without a camera.
Who is talking?
Different people are talking, but right
Où est le petit crocodile?
Oh, she can't hear you guys. I'm the one.
Oh. What if we yell really loud?
Yeah, don't yell. Say hi.
Where's Crocodile?
Hello.
He's somewhere else. We're gonna go to sleep.
Oh, nice. Bon rêve, bon rêve.
Say goodnight.
Put them.
No, I said say
What did you think about this episode?
Good night.
Good
Mommy.
night.
Good night.
Get out of here, you. Don't squeeze my microphone.
It's a real one, but it's squishy.
You know.
Hmm.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out!
I hate to tell you this, but you'll never stop saying that. We'll become part of your lexicon.
No, you have to go to bed.
Every time you say get out.
Regarding my podcast. Get out of here. Are you gonna lie down here? Go lie down on my couch. You can go to sleep on my couch if you want.
No, I'm
Then I can't swear.
talk.
Remember that time when the Lirios kid like crashed the podcast and
You see, guys, this is why I'm not having children.
I can go grab my baby if you want.
Right in the room, go. Go.
Oh,
You have to go.
Same here.
She's the best. I can't even.
Get out of here.
Mm.
Mommy! Can you tell Mommy that you're being bad and you have to go?
Mommy! Daddy is saying that I'm bad girl.
Alright, I better go take care of this situation. What? Why are you being so difficult?
Because I want
I can't even carry you. This making this very difficult. Let's go.
As he's got his limoncello.
Only 4 have been unearthed and named.
What were we talking about?
So Buffy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just a guest.
Like I didn't think that Buffy and Dawn's dresses were that bad. It was just the like scale lizard-like sleeves on the
it was the yellow green color.
Yeah, and the sleeves were like they looked like scales on the other girls because they had like 3 or 4 like
layers.
Yeah, it was so ugly.
Yeah.
I would have.
I think Tara looked very pretty.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, she usually wears things like that. Willow was talking about how disappointed she was she couldn't wear a tux. I would have really loved to see that.
That would have been great. That would have been great.
My best man was a woman. She wore a dress.
Oh yeah? That's cool.
Willow says, I'm supposed to be best man, shouldn't I be? Marlene Dietrich in a dashing tuxedo number. Marlene Dietrich was a singer, actress with a deep voice who appeared in the movies The Scarlet Empress, Shanghai Express, Destry Rides Again, A Foreign Affair, Touch of Evil. She famously wore a tuxedo.
Yeah, like I remember watching this this thing in a sociology class how he had about masculine and feminine, what the norm was, and they always did Dietrich and how she would walk in wearing a tuxedo, and she always looked so freaking fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's gorgeous. But anyways, that's neither here nor there.
Well, and like Coco Chanel, her famous dresses or famous suits, they're not feminine.
Based off tuxedos.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lady in a nice tailored suit looks really good. Not a suit like Scully wears in the X-Files, but like a nice
She doesn't wear a zoot suit. What are you talking about?
Those shoulder pads made her look
She did in
very,
the first
very
season.
zoot-suited.
Oh my gosh.
Zoot suits,
Yeah.
though?
Might as well have been.
They were so oversized and tapered. Oh, zoot suit.
Yeah.
Well, there was a baby.
That is true. That is true. That is. I just remember the season 1 finale, her running and it ballooned up, and I was like, "Oh, I can't look at her." Anyways, let's go on.
I thought Xander's dad was Wojciechowicz, but I'm wrong. And
wrong. Oh, let's go back to when Willow was talking to Xander in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
She said, she was like, "Oh, the XY chromosome looks pretty good in a tux," and she said, if I hadn't figured out I was a lesbian, you, me, and 4 more.
Yeah, what was that about? The
Formal wear.
Formal chromosomes.
it's talking about when they cheated on like we were talking about at the beginning.
No, I know, but what's the 4 more?
It says formal wear.
wear.
Formal wear.
Formal wear. Oh, okay.
Oh, I heard.
I thought she said 4 more. He said 4 more too. Oh.
Why can't these actors enunciate?
Yeah. Jeez.
That's the only nitpick I have about Peter Capaldi.
It's just because he's Scottish.
Mumbled mouth. Mush mouth. Hey, I have some audio feedback from Moira Bound.
Please.
Let's have a listen.
Okay.
It's loading.
Hi, PotentialCast. It's Moira. I just watched Hell's Bells. Have to admit, the opening sequence when they were staring at their dresses, I totally called that. Yeah, there's almost nothing more hideous than bridesmaids' dresses. They're just evil. I kind of laugh because we have the classic, setup of supposedly future self coming back to see present-day self, and that happened recently in an X-Files episode, and it was pretty goofy there too. But this was a neat twist that it was actually somebody getting their revenge on Yanka. Have to confess, even though I said earlier I wasn't all that into the whole Xander and your wedding thing, I was sad to see them break up, and I don't quite understand it. I mean, Xander, everybody gets cold feet, and I'm not completely sure I understand why he decided now to just, quit. Anyway, it made my heart kind of break for Anya. It really did. Also, as an aside, she looked absolutely stunning. Her hair was beautiful, and she looked great in that dress, and the end, when she was so sad, it was just heartbreaking. So, she's going to go bad now, I guess. That's what's going to happen, right? Yes? I'm not so sure that's how I wanted this to play out. I can see actually why people don't find season 6 their favorite season in all kinds of ways. Anyway, not much else to say. I want to see what Anya does next, and I guess I'll just have to tune in. I think I'm going to just play the next one. All right, till next time, take care. Bye.
Thanks, Moira.
Hell's Bells got 3 Emmy nominations: Outstanding Hairstyling, Outstanding Makeup, and Outstanding Makeup for a Series Prosthetic.
Really?
Well, the makeup is all the alien stuff. I'm sorry. Oh.
Yeah.
Demons.
Aliens.
I just started playing Mass Effect 3, so...
But yeah, Emma Caulfield looked gorgeous. That dress was beautiful. They said $5,000 and 5 fittings.
The dress was fantastic.
I was expecting maggots and burlap. Hello. Didn't get it.
I thought her hair looked like a rat's nest, but that's just me.
What?
I don't like how her hair looked because it was 2 different colors. Oh. You could easily tell it was hair extensions, but I'm being super nitpicky because I love hair and hair extensions, obviously. But, yeah. I don't know why everyone's like, honestly, I don't know why everyone hates Xander. Maybe because I felt the wedding wasn't going to happen. I was just like, okay, yeah, and?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's natural for most females to come down hard on a male that leaves the bride at the altar. Because a wedding, you're supposed to have the happily ever after, and he's having cold feet.
No, he didn't want to. He didn't even want to marry her. He proposed to her when he thought that the world was going to end.
The blame lies solely on Xander. There is no way you can blame Anya for this at all. So.
Oh, I'm not blaming Anya at all. But I'm just saying he never should have proposed to her because he only proposed to her because he thought they were going to die.
Right.
So he should have called it off a long time ago.
However, he at one point says something to the effect of, "If I make this mistake, it'll be forever." And I immediately bursted with, "That's stupid. If it's a mistake, you get a divorce. It's not forever."
Except look at his parents again.
You're just freaked out. You're just freaked out because some old man got you doubting more. And you know what? Stop being the kind of human being that's afraid to take any risks and make the greatest decision of your life, which is to join up with someone who recognizes what love is and that you and her are love. And what a horrible, horrible, horrible self-hating person Xander Harris is. Boo! Boo, Xander.
But look
As
at the example he has,
anyone
though.
on Big Bang Theory, I boo him.
But look at the example of his parents and his crazy extended family.
So what? So what?
They're
You're not always going to be your
wackadoos.
parents. You could always learn from them to not do that stuff.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He only knows what he knows. I'm playing devil's advocate here because I agree with everything you're saying.
And
but
I'm just being a full-on hater for Xander right now. It's okay. But the idea of him just kind of giving up? Come on, man.
Yeah.
What a jerk.
Yeah.
He's worse than Pinochet.
He's what?
Never mind. I think there are two people on this planet that get that reference.
That is a stretch.
Neither of them listen to the
That is a
podcast.
stretch.
Neither
I
of them
don't
listen to
get
the podcast. It's okay. All right. Very quick explanation for that horrible joke. I was in university once, and we were talking about Pinochet, and the worst I could say at that point was, what a jerk. So ever since now, every time I say what a jerk, I always add, he's worse than Pinochet. So yeah.
What's Pinochet, though?
Augusto Pinochet. He was responsible for about 30,000 people being killed and or tortured in Chile in 1973. Yeah. Awful, awful human. Xander's worse than him. Because he broke the heart of Anya.
Did Xander's parents live up to the
Anyanka's
hype?
heart was broken. Broken by some meathead. All right?
Well, see,
I said it.
Okay, to me, this does not work because to me the drama is not earned because we said Xander is shown this terrible future, and then they tell him, Xander, that wasn't true. That was a lie. Well, I don't care. We're not getting married anyway. I mean, it just doesn't work.
Complete idiot. Doesn't work.
It's almost like
I hate him because anyone who would decide that is stupid.
No, no.
I don't think the vision. Like I buy that the vision isn't what made him not want to get married. The vision is what made him stop denying that he didn't want to get married.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. He didn't want to get married in the first place. He didn't need that old man to do that, but it just, I think it tipped him to like, whew, okay.
No.
Yeah,
no,
I think
here's what happened. All of the walking in the rain led to slight hypothermia, which led to brain damage. And that's why he backed out. Because he was too stupid and brain damaged to understand that it was fake and that he should just get over it.
So what happens if they do get married and he's miserable? Are you just going to say, well, divorce time?
He gets a divorce. He gets a divorce.
No, you do that before the wedding. If you don't want to get married, you do that. You don't get married before the wedding. You don't decide.
Exactly.
Like that.
So you go through a wedding just to make Anya happy for one day?
Not for a day, at least a year. I'd give it a year at least.
I think they should have. He should have. I think the worst part was that he broke this news and then he's just like, well, you can take care of breaking the news to everybody. I'll just walk out.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Like, if you could be a decent human being and be like, this is my fault. I'm really sorry,
I'm
everybody.
sticking to my brain damage theory.
He didn't apologize to anyone.
Nope.
He just rented a dirty motel room.
Drugs, and we're gonna have a real life drug episode.
What?
He's actually doing drugs in the motel room, you're saying?
Did anybody think that Giles should have been there?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Giles?
Oh.
There was a deleted scene.
Oh, he wasn't it?
What?
No, they just discussed why he wasn't there.
Oh.
Dawn says, I thought Xander and Anya couldn't afford flowers. Willow says, Giles sent them, aren't they gorgeous? Dawn says, yeah, I wish Giles was here. Willow says, me too. and I'm sure he'd much rather be here than fighting that nasty demon.
Oh, okay.
Don says Daemon. In England, it's Daemon. Willow says demon too, right? But Giles got responsibilities, and so Anya and Xander have flowers and flowers and more flowers. Oh, it's going to be so pretty.
Alrighty. I thought Giles might be in it because when I started this episode with the previously on, it was Giles's voice. I was like, oh, maybe Giles.
But it's always Giles's voice.
Oh, is it? I never watch it, but I did this week. Never mind.
I'm gonna try to do this without being spoilerific, but I just wanted to ask Illyrio, getting to the end of this episode, do you want to revise any of your theories?
Such as, which theory are you thinking of in particular?
I'm saying any, that's why I'm not being spoilerific.
Well, I'm disappointed because stupid Willow was touching Tara's hair and Tara wasn't telling her to back off. Like, I mean, for Willow to turn bad, Tara needs to, like, not want to have anything to do with her, you know? And, I mean,
it was a wedding. Everyone's lovey-dovey at a wedding.
I mean, my original theory early on is I think it was DeHoffen who told Willow that she was very powerful potential.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's still going to be Willow turning bad and DeHoffen's going to be involved. I'm still convinced of that. I think that seed that was planted with us a long time ago is going to come to fruition. But if it's Anya, maybe this is a red herring. Maybe Anya's not going to go bad, but DeHoffen's going to maybe notice Willow, and then something's going to happen. So, I don't know. No, Willow's going to go bad.
Okay.
Hey, we have a voicemail. I'm going to play it.
All right.
Do it. Rockapella.
Hi, Jack. It's Carol. I said I'd leave a voicemail, and here I am.
Woo!
For Hell's Bells. Now, I just saw that Illyrio posted an Illyria-mentary for Hell's Bells. I haven't watched yet, so I don't know what anybody thinks, but I can tell you that this is the hardest episode for me to watch of all of Buffy. It's harder for me to watch than The Body, and that's saying a lot.
Wow.
I actually saw this episode after I hadn't seen any Buffy. I wasn't a fan of Buffy necessarily at that point because I just had not watched enough and didn't realize how awesome it was. I just ran into it in the middle of this episode, and I watched it, and I had been going through some really tough romantic times at that point, and it just hit home me for so many people I knew, so many of my friends, and people I've since have said that it didn't ring true for them, but it really, really rang true for me. I had just seen some version of this kind of thing so often that I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, even a television show has gotten to the point of really understanding this dynamic and how insane people can be. And it was so depressing and so upsetting that I did not watch Buffy again until I heard that it was ending, and then I watched a little piece of it. And it was only after that in reruns that I started watching it from the beginning and realized, oh wow, this is something quite different. And actually ended up loving season 6 and becoming my favorite, as I said. But Hell's Bells is the toughest. I don't think it's a bad episode, but it is hard for me to watch. So I'm crying right there along with Anya by the end. I hope you all like it. I don't know if I can even use that word, but hope all is well. Thanks again for the podcast. Keep doing what you're doing. Bye.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you, Carol.
That's nice to hear, a personal story about the episode. I mean, I think Emma Caulfield's acting is outstanding. I mean, she did break my heart, even though I just didn't buy Xander's reaction.
I kind of feel like her. It's like my issue is I see too many relationships like this that don't end at the wedding. They really should end at the wedding or before. Too many of them go past it, and it's just misery for everyone involved.
It broke my heart watching this because the more Anya was getting excited, and then she even said a line right before. I don't want to steal anyone's line, but I will. Talking about how she can't wait to marry her best friend and spend the rest of her life. I was just like, oh, don't say that because it's not gonna happen.
Oh, Anya.
That line broke my heart because the way she delivered it and everything, I was like, oh, Anya, you're gonna be so heartbroken. Oh.
Did Xander's parents live up to the hype?
Yeah, they did.
We got Willow's parents and Buffy's parent. Well, we never got Willow's dad, I guess, but we had to wait a long time to get Xander's.
Yeah, I think they alluded to it probably all the way from season 1, right?
Yeah.
All the way from episode 1.
Yep.
When he was like in the basement and all that stuff. But
their non-presence in this series, though, makes it like even harder to choke down the whole. Well, look at Xander's past. Look at Xander's parents. If obviously he's not going to stick to it. I just hate that excuse because it's not even really a part of the series at all. It's almost as if you point out Buffy's problem with men by saying, "Well, she's her dad left her when she was a kid." It's like, I don't know.
Really, I think they've alluded to it enough times that his parents or his family is dysfunctional.
Yeah, but most of the time it's like humorous.
Really?
I mean, his restless thing is all about his dad.
Yeah.
I think that for any one of the main characters' family stuff, that where they have that internal struggle, I think with Xander it's been the most of all the characters.
And go back and watch his restless part again too. It has more meaning now that you've seen this episode.
His dad's an asshole.
Oh
yeah.
He's not even Wojciechowicz.
Okay, I have a question. I know quite a number of people who are either alcoholics or have alcoholic families. They did not have open bars at their weddings. That was the first rule, was not to have an open bar.
Yeah.
Why does Xander have an open bar at his wedding?
Well, he did say something like, "Hey, I told him not to serve before the wedding," but.
Well, didn't the dad say that he's paying for everything? So maybe he said there better be an open bar. I'm not paying for anything. Well, you can see even the struggle of the bartender when he's like, "I'll take a double jack and whatever," and he was just like, the bartender was like, "What do I do?" and he just ended up pouring it anyway. I was like, way to overact there, extra. But other than that. So, yeah, because the dad was the only one drinking, right?
No, Uncle Rory was.
He had the Irish coffee.
That's correct.
The worst human. I must say. Hey, Steph's not here. Hey, who wants to hear Gabby's feedback? I know I do.
Oh, I certainly do.
This voice memo is titled, "Xander Can Suck It."
So she liked it?
Hey everybody, it is Gabby here. I am so sorry that I am unable to make it tonight to discuss Hell's Bells. All I can really say about this particular episode of television is that it made me so incredibly mad. It made, like, I was seething with anger after watching it, and I feel like a lot of other stuff probably went on besides the whole Anya getting left at the altar thing, but you know what? That overshadows everything. And you know what? All I gotta say is, fuck you, Xander. That is some absolute bullshit. You can be that easily tricked? Obviously, your priorities are messed up, and you aren't ready, and you're selfish, and you don't love Anya as much as you've been professing to all this time. So you know what? A big ol' middle finger to Xander Harris. So, and so there's a lot of hate. There's a lot of Xander hate, and I don't think I'm coming back from that. And my heart goes out to Anya, and I don't know what's gonna go on next, but I am hoping that the end of the episode is the beginning of some really crazy shit. I want Anya to go full on vengeance demon on his ass, full on. Anyway, so so that is how I felt about this particular episode, and it's almost a little better that I wasn't able to make the recording tonight, because it probably would have been an hour and a half of 2 hours me cursing like a truck driver, and making no sense, and just spewing the hate, bringing the fucking hate. Anyway, so I am going to give this episode, I guess I'll rate it, so we get that out of the way, so you give you guys a rating. Let me see. I hated it a lot. It made me super angry, but I don't hate it so much to give it like a 1, because it obviously moved me to feel this passionately. But I still hate what happened. Oh, Xander's an asshole. So I'm going to give it, I guess 5. I'm going to give it 5 gutless bastards out of 10, and I'll throw a quote your way too. It's Anya. I, Anya, promise to cherish you. Ew, no, not cherish. I promise to have sex with you whenever I want, or a pledge to be your friend and your wife and your confidant and your sex poodle. It was funny. All right. Anyway, enjoy the chit chat, and I'm willing to bet there's going to be a lot of passionate opinions about this as well, not just me. Peace out!
Yay!
Yeah,
Thanks,
the
Debbie.
sex poodle part came from, it was an inside joke between the writers. Jane Espenson calls herself that.
Oh.
God. Herself?
Yeah.
All right. That's fine.
I want to give Xander some praise, okay?
What?
For getting out of the marriage before it happened. Like, I think it'd be so much worse if they got married and then he's like, you know what? Nah. You know, I just think, oh, it's just so much better this
Xander
way.
Harris is a quitter. Xander Harris is a quitter. Xander Harris is like that kid who plays his first ever game of dominoes. Doesn't matter what it is. And loses, and then goes, I don't want to play anymore. You know what? Xander Harris got spooked and was like, I'm going to walk in the rain, and I'm going to be hypothermic, and I'm going to have brain damage, and I will drop out of this wedding. No, you don't do that.
But it's
You
not
had
like
plenty
he's
of
never
time
seen.
to review the choice.
It's not
He had
like
plenty
he's
of time to review his choices.
ever
You
seen
don't make this
dominoes
out of the day of the
before.
wedding.
You know what I'm saying? He's not like
Nope.
he's seen his dad play dominoes and he played it badly. He doesn't want to play it the same way.
But he's not his dad. He's being stupid. He's just nervous.
Sure.
Just cold feet. And you know what? Willow's the worst best man ever.
Willow is the
The
worst
best man is supposed
ever.
to smack the groom upside the head when he thinks things like this, and make sure and ensure that the groom stays up there.
Mhm.
That's what the best man's supposed to do. Willow, you're the worst. Second worst.
Yeah.
Well, she's too busy hanging out with the maid of honor.
Don't chicken wow wow.
Like every wedding, right? No.
Yeah.
Listen. Nope.
I think Xander did a good thing. In a very
What?
bad way. In a very bad way. Can I finish my thought?
Will you stop defending Xander?
I think it's better that they didn't get married. I really do.
Yeah,
Because I just think about how much worse. I don't know. I just think it would be 10 times worse. Like, imagine how vengeful she would be then.
Yeah, I'm definitely not one to say, oh, just go ahead and marry her. I would, but God, he should have done something weeks ago, months ago.
Should have broke up after the song they had together.
Yeah.
Their marriage was doomed from the beginning.
No,
not their marriage. Let me rephrase.
He got nervous.
Their
He was nervous.
engagement was doomed from the beginning.
He was nervous. That's all it was. Nerves.
No,
he was not. He was not nervous.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
Nerves.
I've seen. I don't know. Maybe you just don't have experience with people who come from alcoholic families, but I just see this kind of attitude a lot. From people, I mean, especially people with alcoholic parents. You know, there's all sorts of psychological issues that Xander can have, and he certainly never. He doesn't address his problems, so because he's a big, strong man. But like I said, I think if they had said, "Okay, let's talk about these problems I'm having for the past 6 months," then the wedding probably would have gone off fine. But yeah, I'm with Kim that it was a worse time to do it, but it's better than the day after. It was the last possible moment for him to do it.
And there really wasn't. I don't think he felt there was any time to speak with her beforehand because the way he proposed was rushed, and everything leading up to it was rushed. So I just, again, I don't condone what he did, but I'm glad he did it.
It reminds me of when Cordelia broke up with him on Valentine's Day. And he has that great line about the worst day to break up with somebody. Well, there's one worse day than Valentine's Day.
Yeah, your wedding day. What was when this episode aired, Robin? What was the general feeling? Were people pissed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We wanted our wedding episode.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not Xander and Anya are just like, you know, adorable together. You see the cracks, but not every relationship is perfect. But it's not like, I don't know. I remember
have a feeling watching the episode that there wasn't going to be a wedding?
Well, from the beginning, it's like it's thundering. As soon as she's starting to talk about it, it almost seemed like they were playing like a little joke on it.
Yeah.
But
it becomes so tired for the show to have relationships that fall apart at the best possible moment.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Maybe they would just not do it this one time.
Yeah,
and they did it.
But no.
And the misery that season 6 has been, you just want something to be happy about.
Is Steph back?
Yeah.
What did you think, Stephanie, when you first watched it? Did you think that there was going to be a wedding, or did you feel like it would have been called off?
Oh yeah, I was expecting happily ever after.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Or I would be if there was no happily ever after. I would have been happy with the outcome if I understood where Xander was coming from, because I don't understand. I mean, yes, I have to. yes, he had his home life was not very happy, but still, I just don't feel like the writing is there to explain it all.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like all of that scene where he comes back and he tells Anya like I can't tell you what he said to her because it sounded like wah 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 wah. He didn't say anything. What did he say?
Jargon.
Yeah, just words, blah.
It's my backup quote, so.
Well, you'll hear it later, Steph.
Okay. Please explain it to me. You know what's so funny? This is funny. Okay, Xander's future children. Okay, did y'all catch that? Of course, that
the daughter's not his.
The daughter's not his. Okay, and that her ears look like Clem's. That's what somebody said. But anyway,
yeah.
The names are Josh and Sarah, and somebody put in these on these trivia websites that they were named after Josh and Sarah Michelle Gellar. But no, in the commentary, Rebecca, what's her face?
Brand Krishner.
Yeah, she says that Josh is her husband's name and Sarah is her best friend. So it didn't have anything to do with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Joss Whedon.
Oh.
She also said that she wanted to play Spike's date.
Panic.
Yeah.
Do y'all
talk about Spike.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Spike? I was convinced he was going to show up at the wedding and ruin the wedding and act crazy, but he didn't do that.
No.
I mean, I don't know why Dawn called her a skank. I mean, I wouldn't call that person skanky myself. But
she was a skank.
No. You think so?
She was a skank.
I think that's,
no,
that's terribly misogynist of you, Kim, but okay.
Well, she wasn't a very pleasant person. Dawn's first impression of her was definitely just like, fuck you.
Yeah. And in my commentary, I did utter the words, who the hell put Dawn in charge of greeting people? She's the worst. Listen, Spike wasn't crazy. Dawn was useless. Whatever was in that box, I'm thinking it was a kraken, a little baby kraken.
A little Cthulhu.
A little Cthulhu light, right? And I was convinced we were going to have a wedding. And when old man in his gabardine showed up, I was like, oh yeah, here we go.
I thought that Cousin Carol was going to marry Crowlin.
I think that's totally happening.
I thought that was going to happen.
How much fanfic has been written about Cousin Carol and Crowlin, guys?
Oh, zero, I hope.
I bet you there's tons of it.
Well, you haven't actually seen the entire series, right? So, you never know.
They shared their sideways glances. They're totally getting married.
I don't know. They might be scarred by seeing this wedding, so that they're not going to do weddings anymore.
Oh,
doubtful, because Cousin Carol was all about
Last weekend, I was in Pensacola for a wedding, and it was a friend of the show, Desiree, getting married to West, who's a lovely man, and he's a very good dancer, also. He always kept trying to lead, though. I didn't really like that. And I can tell you, they had one of the greatest ceremonies I've ever witnessed.
I just got Sorry, what were you saying?
Kim, you really need to check my Instagram. That's all I'm gonna say. And all I'm gonna say is that they had one of the greatest ceremonies ever. It lasted 5 minutes.
Love it.
It was fantastic, and the party was great. It was wonderful. And weddings can be totally awesome and great, and they don't have to put people under a tremendous amount of pressure. They don't. Not at all.
Did her mom dance to Mustang Sally a million times?
I don't even know if they played that song.
Will they slow it down?
I'm sure they did. That's her mom's favorite.
That was a
You know,
joke.
Steph, I think I have the exact same mirror as you have there behind you.
Yeah, it's kind of traditional.
I think I have the exact same mirror in the same frame.
You may have the
Guys, Dawn found a little boyfriend.
Yeah, well,
Dawn found a little demon boyfriend. Was he
He's
just a
kinda
horny
cute.
kid? Is that what you said, Robin?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The squid guy, he was a male model who worked with Cindy Crawford.
Oh, really?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
He
And
had
they
the
said,
worst makeup.
He was like the Edward of the horned people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see you later, Don.
At one point, there was another vengeance demon in the crowd. It wasn't just.
oh yeah, I saw her.
Yeah, some dude from Xander's family punched her out.
Yes.
Did you guys see that?
Yeah, they said in the commentary, they said that the extras actually fought.
What?
There were actual fights
What?
on set.
No. No. People, if you do extra work, don't fight for real. It's acting. Acting.
Did you guys catch Spike's excitement when he asked Buffy if she was hurt?
Yep.
Don't
His just
remember if
joy.
Do you know what's special about that scene?
What?
Joss wrote that whole bit. So.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wait a second. You mean Joss hasn't been writing this whole season?
That was shocking.
Like, let's kind of redeem this whole relationship just a little tiny bit in this tiny little scene. I really like that scene.
I think it basically sums up everything wrong with their relationship across the whole season.
Most likely. All right, email time. Bruce.
Always with a Scottish accent. Every time.
In the latest in what I call the Old Home Week series of plot points, or maybe This Is Your Life would be better. Season 6 started with the return of Buffy herself, followed by Jonathan and Warren and the other one. Then came Amy and Halfrick, and then Riley. Now it's Tony and Jessica Harris, along with DeHoffrin and good old Stuart Burns. Philanderer. It's almost as if everyone's pasts are catching up with them. Mazel tov! Thank you, Bruce. Bob. This is my least favorite episode of the series. Objectively, it's probably not as...
Can I just interject?
Yes, Robin.
I don't know what's more of a downer. I don't know what's more of a downer, season 6 of Buffy or season 6 of Buffy, Bob's emails to your show. I love you, Bob.
Bob says, I'll start from the beginning. This is my least favorite episode of the series. Objectively, it's probably not as bad as Reptile Boy or Where the Wild Things Are, but it's the one that offends me the most. I firmly believe that Marty Noxon doesn't care about these characters at all, other than as ways to get from one plot point to the next. Giles leaves, check. Spike and Buffy hook up, check. Anya and Xander break up, check. How they get there doesn't matter. By now you know how upset James and Sarah were at how their characters were portrayed this season, but neither of those was as bad to me as Giles abandoning Buffy or this episode. We know exactly what Xander is. No special powers, not too bright, but fiercely loyal to his friends and braver than he has any reason to be. Anya, whatever her quirks, is totally loyal to Xander. Xander would be the absolute person that would carry off a dream. This is the same Xander that stared down a psychotic vampire in the Zeppo. Foreshadowing something does not mean that you don't have an obligation to write something plausible. The good news is that this is the last one I will skip. I like the rest of the season. Bob.
Yay!
He's from the Dexter cast, by the way. Thank you, Bob. I would agree, Bob.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. This episode is definitely the one that makes me the most disappointed in one of our characters, I would say. I don't know if I could say it's the worst of the series, but boy, it really makes me upset.
Well, to be fair, Bob did call it his least favorite.
Right.
Not
That's I'm
necessarily the
I'm
worst.
just commenting on that.
Yeah. Rachel Horn says, "My heart hurts. I miss Giles." Rachel Sex Poodle Horn. Nikki writes, "Oh man, this one is so brutal on the rewatch. When you watch for the first time, the beginning feels pretty optimistic and Anya's happiness is bubbling off screen. But on rewatch, hearing all the beautiful things she has to say, seeing how excited she is, it just breaks your heart. Knowing what's coming, ouch. I love Anya, and this episode is just painful, but well done. We're definitely out of our season 6 rut, don't you think? I think it's really sweet that Buffy let Spike know it hurts just a little bit, seeing him with someone else. She may have been using him, but on some level she does care. Speaking of Spuffy, I wanted to speak to Illyrio's comments on the As You Were episode. I totally see where you're coming from on Spike being obsessed with Buffy, and I think it started as only that, but I do think he really loves her. And I think he really loved Drew, too. Especially when we look back at season 5, at moments like when he let Glory nearly beat him to death rather than give up Dawn as the key, and at the beginning of season 6, the first moment he sees Buffy alive. Wow. Yes, love, in my opinion. Or maybe I'm just a hopeless romantic. Keep being awesome, Gax. Nikki. Did we lose someone to the Sandman?
I know.
Yeah,
No.
is someone asleep? Kim, are you asleep?
I wasn't sleeping.
I thought I heard someone snoring.
I know exactly. What's going on at Steph's house? That's what I want to know.
It's not here.
Really?
I was muted. It wasn't me.
And I think this is our last email on the subject, and then someone else can read all of the Facebook stuff.
Okay.
This is from Miss Pooh. Hey, Gax, it's wedding time! 1, I like the bridesmaids with the short sleeves ones. Number 2, oh my fucking god, Dawn, keep your mouth shut. She goes on and on about Spike, and then blurts out that Xander is missing. Number 3, to Hoffred! Guess he's looking to recruit his re-recruit his favorite daughter. Also, Holly is a delightful Bitka throughout this episode. Was that how you spell Bitka? I always spell Bitka with a K. Number 4, Buffy telling Spike that it hurts a little to see him with Tarantula, who was originally supposed to be played by episode writer Rebecca Kirshner. Number 5, Willow and Tara! Less than number 3. Number 6, Willow referencing Homecoming when she talks with Xander in the venue's kitchen area. Also, Allie and Nikki are just amazing in that scene. Number 7, the fake future. All of those slashes are just perfect, and I can only assume that Sarah is Clem's. Ha 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 ha. Number 8, I love Anya. Number 9, I love Anya's vows. Number 10, I really, really love Anya's vows. The set she settles on before Buffy bursts in and says the Minotaur joke. Number 11, Anya's wedding dress is so beautiful. It's still, years later, my favorite TV wedding gown. And hold on a second. Hope Williams, about to become Brady, in the 1980s had the best wedding gown. Plus, you could ride a motorcycle wearing it. Anyway. And I guess I should say a little something about how this whole thing ends. I understand what Xander did. Granted, he didn't think it through, and it could have been done prior to the walking down the aisle part, but I do understand his side of it. He doesn't want to hurt Anya like his parents hurt each other. Which, finally we meet the Harrises, Anthony and Jessica. He would rather her live a long, happy life than be angry and sad with him. It's noble. He just didn't pick the right time or the right words. Because let's face it sort of sounds like he broke up with her. Ouch. And Anya's slow, tearful walk down the aisle is so depressing. Poor Anya. From Simone. Simone, you're wrong, but that's okay. Love you anyway. It's all right. Any Facebook feedback?
I don't think there's any at all.
Tons of Facebook feedback. Let's see.
Everybody loved this episode.
Here we are. Okay. Just one more second. Okay. Taylor Doyle says, "Grr arg," but in a frustrated voice. I get it. Xander has parent issues and has been having doubts all season, but to walk away after finding
series. Sorry, go on.
All season. But to walk away after finding out the future vision was fake, Gerarg. Patrick says, but theirs was a forever love. Rachel says, why didn't Buffy and Halfrack have to wear the same armadillo sleeves that Willow and Tara had on their pea green dresses? And personally, I hated the demons being all self-righteous and floppy. They were all different species and must have had some kind of link to D'Hoffryn, as he is the family that Anya had, which means we have to believe that they are acceptable to D'Hoffryn at one time, Anyanka, and therefore probably killers or feeders of some kind. The Harrises, with the exception of Mr. Harris, are just offensive drunks. But I forget, since Angel got a spinoff, demons are suddenly all shades of black and white and with and without souls. So I hate that aspect of the episode. Yeah, see, like I said, I don't like the funny demons and the
demons can be totally cool.
A lot of people have a problem with that
just
because
different life forms.
Well, but you don't get that on this show except for Clem. A lot of people hated Clem when he was introduced as being.
I like it better that when demons are on the fringe, where people really don't know that they're, and yeah, they're explaining these as circus folk, but it's too cheesy. Too cheesy for me.
Cabbagey, but anyway.
So I hate that aspect of this episode. Secondly, the Xander that we know would never ever leave Anya to walk down the aisle to announce.
Damn right.
I get it was for dramatic effect, but it was at Xander's character assassination, and that wasn't cool.
Robin says, Angel got a spinoff? # creates podcast feed.
Got excited.
Val
adds, oh, sorry, Steph, go ahead.
Val Pass says, oh man, I felt so bad for Anya when she walked down the aisle crying. And also at the end when she was talking to D'Hoffryn, she was just so crushed and broken. Damn you, Xander.
Yeah, I love how the end it's like in blackness,
Yeah.
They're in
because you don't know where D'Hoffryn is from.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Simone says, it's going to be hard to hear all the Xander disappointment. I guess he deserves it, but still.
But still nothing, Simone.
Rachel says, oh, and this from Triangle. Anya, Xander, if you ever decide to go, I want a warning, big flashing red lights and one of those clocks that counts down like a bomb in a movie. And there's a whole bunch of colored wires, and I'm not sure which is the right one to cut, but I guess the green one, and then the last second. No, the red one, and then click, it stops with 0.3 of a second left, but you don't leave like that, okay? Xander says, check. Big bomb clock.
Liar.
Bob DeGrand says, to me, the worst episode of the series, Xander is unrecognizable. This completely destroys his character. Simone says, I know we've had this conversation before, Bob, but is he really so unrecognizable? It seems pretty in character to me. Bob says, the Xander that risked his life in the... Oh, we've already heard this. This was in his feedback.
I love when you guys read conversations.
Okay, Rachel says, but Xander is the heart.
The heart. The heart does not treat loved ones this way, ever. We've seen him scared before, but he puts his friends and loved ones first, always. Now, Rachel, to this point, I think what a lot of people are saying is that that's actually what he's doing. And I understand that. People are saying that he's protecting Anya from a future with him, and that he's going to be a deadbeat, and he's going to be awful and terrible and this, and probably still obsessed with Buffy and all that stuff. But I still think that he just should have just stopped being a quivering wimp and just gotten married and realized that he was just having extra powerful doubts because someone used witchcraft on him to make him scared. I can't read anymore. I'm sorry.
Okay, Simone says
Jays win. Sorry.
Not me.
Foghorn.
She said Jays win.
I'm not on a boat.
Yeah. Blue Jays win.
You ain't got your
Blue
flippy
Jays win.
floppies?
Oh.
Simone says, he is the heart, but that doesn't stop him from making mistakes, which they have all made one point or another. I just feel bad for him. I think he was so blinded by the happy future with Anya that he truly wanted that when it came time to follow through, all his family shit and the fact that he's 21 kind of crushed him, and he didn't express his feelings of failure well. Rachel says telling Anya isn't ready. Telling Anya that he isn't ready for marriage wasn't the mistake, but the way he told her and and the way he left made a huge ass of Parker proportions.
Yes, he's a huge ass.
Parker
proportions.
Oh, Rachel, you're just so clever. I just don't get you. Rachel, Simone says, absolutely agree that saying what he said, the way he said it, and then just leaving was a massive douche nozzle move. That is the part that I have issues with myself. However, everything else I understand and it makes sense. Harold Whalen says, usually the writers of this show ace all the big event episodes, but they failed this time. We've been waiting for 6 seasons to finally meet Xander's family, and they were just some mean drunks. I always expected mean drunks, but I expected them to be interesting mean drunks, and not just stereotypes. Plus, Xander has always been loyal and stubborn, so his decision to walk away strikes me as being out of character. The Xander I know would have stuck it out and tried to make it work.
No! He would not have. Okay, sorry, go on.
Rory wasn't mean. He was just kind of a dick.
And a perv and a total creep. Bruce says, I'm feeling better. Bruce says, I think fake vision is too simple a description of what Xander experienced. If Stuart Burns, philanderer, is to be believed, those were Xander's own subconscious fears of what his marriage was going to be like. I like to think Xander would have gone ahead with the wedding if it just meant 30-plus years of misery. That's what marriage is like, right? But if there's any chance of that last vision coming true, where he is the one using the skillet upside the head argument, then nope. Better Anya should just hate him forever than risk being the one that hurts her like that. I don't know.
Yeah, what did you guys think of that last moment, like when you were in the moment of that before you realized it was
You can't swing a skillet like that if your back is shot. He's faking it for insurance. Workman's comp is what I'm telling you right now.
Heat of the moment. I had a feeling that he killed her, not just hurt her.
Oh, yeah, he totally,
Yep.
Gary says, I've always thought the demon played on Xander's underlying fears of what he thinks his marriage may turn out to be like.
So
then we have an amazing picture of Stephanie Smith.
Yeah, isn't that dress gorgeous? I love that's my favorite dress.
Work it.
Do you think that if okay,
work.
So say this guy really was from the future.
Nope.
If he hadn't shown Xander, and Xander goes through the wedding knowing that he's going to live in misery, would he have lived in misery because this guy showed it to him, or because he would really live in misery? Do you know what I mean?
He's going to live in misery because he's got something wrong with him. He's always kind of miserable. He always has been.
But in the back of his mind, he's always going to know that he's going to kill Anya.
Well, no, because
does he have to?
It was fake.
Oh, he didn't know it was fake, though. He didn't know it was fake.
He was told at the end.
If that was if that was actually the future, if Xander was any kind of decent person, he'd be like, all right, now I'm thank you, I have an advantage now. Now
I'm going to memorize the score from that football game I was watching.
Yeah. Yeah, now I know that I have to, I don't know, keep a closer eye on Buffy, I guess.
Or just take some anger management, man. Like, come on.
I think all of this was an eye-opener for him to realize how much he's in love with Buffy.
Oh.
because it was all about how his life is miserable without her.
Interesting.
Okay. Peter Fulton says, I really hate this episode. A bad idea, extremely poorly executed. It really killed almost all of my interest in Xander as a character. David says, yep, I agree with Bob and Peter. It's a mean-spirited episode towards both characters and the audience.
I think what he did was heroic. Am I the
Nope.
only one?
Yes.
No.
Perhaps.
Oh,
apparently.
I can't.
Heroic? Jason agrees with me, right?
Yeah, and I never agree with you.
Tread lightly, Jason. Tread lightly.
Yeah.
Dylan says, so,
hey, why'd you skip that?
Oh, yeah, let's go to prom. Oh my gosh, if I could go back to prom knowing what I know now.
Sounds like a date. Oh, all right.
Wait. What do you know now about proms?
I would have so much more fun.
Just because you would be drunk, or more drunk, or less drunk, or...
I mean, not even that.
We'd just be super confident.
Exactly.
We just know. You just throw down.
I dated an underclassman, so I had to go to 3 of them. It was miserable.
Awful. Why do we even go? Anyway, okay, so Dylan says, so everyone seemed to be hitting rock bottom this season. Nutty says, I remember watching this episode and I identified with Xander. At the time, I was in a relationship. While I cared about the person, he was headed for marriage and I was not feeling it. I was a lifelong commitment phobe. I didn't want to see this person that I cared about end up hating me, and I didn't want to end up like my mother either, married for no good reason and miserable. Xander is brave, and he is the heart, which is why I think it's all in character for him to freak like this. If it was risking his life, he'd do it, but he can't risk hurting Anya. Sure, he hurts her now in his head. This is the logic, but he doesn't doom her to a life of misery to a point when he turns into his father and makes life hell until he is violent. That's the heart talking. Personally, I think Xander made a mistake. I think he could have handled it better and not been such a coward, but his fear took hold of him and he felt he had to end it in such a final way he could never hurt her again. He's a dipshit, but I get his action and emotions. When I was in Xander's shoes, I had nightmares about being proposed to and hurting the person I was with. It was only a couple of months later that I finally ended up with the person I was with. The sucky thing is that no matter how nice I was, how careful I planned it, I hurt him in a way that couldn't be undone. It just sucks.
Thanks for sharing.
Thanks for that.
He never should have proposed. The end.
Yeah.
Ray says, such a disappointing episode. Such build-up for such an underwhelming episode. I don't think it's one of the worst episodes of the series or anything as much as it is just a disappointment in what it does to Xander, the character, and Xander Anya as a couple. This episode just doesn't live up to all the hype and build-up leading up to the wedding. Ashley says, I know a lot of people are probably going to give Xander a lot of grief for this, as fans tend to, but I actually feel really bad for him in this episode. His family is an absolute train wreck. His father just absolutely sucks. At least Buffy's dad sucks from a distance. You can see why Xander is willing to camp outside in his backyard every Christmas like in Amends, why he was afraid being in the basement. That's not the way out in Restless, and why he most likely spent most of his childhood at Willow's instead of his own home. Xander as a character to me makes more sense. I believe Xander really was ready to get married. He was genuinely happy and wanted to spend the rest of his life with Anya. Sure, he had his fears, but we all do. His problem is that his fear exploited to the extreme by someone who wanted revenge on Anyanka. What he experienced with the visions was his greatest fear of turning into his father and ruining his family by turning into a bitter, hateful, old drunk. I'm guessing him experiencing that would take more than a couple hours to process, even if you did find out that it was fake. You can't just press a resume button that easily. The problem I have is that he wasn't the one to announce that the wedding was off. After all, he's the one who called it off. My heart absolutely breaks for Anya. Xander was her world, and now her world has left her. Will she allow herself to fall back on the only other life she knows? I'm thinking about borrowing some of her wedding vows to use for my own one day, and hope that there aren't too many Buffy fans in the audience. It's not like she got to use them anyway. At this moment, I'd like to that my oldest sister for loving me enough to not have me look ridiculous at her wedding as her bridesmaid, Ashley. Thank you. Thank you.
Spoiler alert, Anya goes on The Apprentice.
What?
And wins.
Of course. It's all about the money.
Yeah.
And the ridiculous racism.
Not as funny. But yeah, I think she'd throw down her business skills and win everything.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So, thanks for your feedback, everyone. Do we have any more points, or are we going to rate this sucker?
For if she's gonna turn into like if she's gonna be like a revenge demon again, so I forget the name. Does Xander have to be there for her to put a curse on him, or say Xander's in hiding and she can't find him for a while? Is it going to be like her running around Sunnydale, Benny Hill styles, trying to find him? I don't know. Guys.
Very good question.
I hope she becomes evil and she joins forces with Willow. And then Buffy also becomes evil for a few seconds.
No,
She's
Buffy
under a
can't become
spell.
evil. Then that would ruin evil. It would
ruin it if Dawn was the one to bring them all back. That would be evil. If Dawn becomes the voice of reason. No, guys. Ugh. If that happens, I'm for sure not watching any more of this series. I mean it, and I mean it this time, guys.
Yeah.
Dawn may have the potential to save them all.
No, don't say those words.
And that's why we call you Dawn.
And that's why it's called PotentialCast.
You're all Dawns.
I don't find that in the least bit funny, Robin Bird.
If you ever again.
I don't find this in the least bit funny. Oh.
What I said was worse than racism. Sorry about that.
I don't.
Nothing can faze me. I just lived through the end of Dexter, so.
Oh.
Ouch.
Have you seen the end of Lost?
Yes.
I like the end of Lost. It took me a while, though.
The Blue Jays and the Maple Leafs, too, so there's no accounting for taste.
It took me a while.
It took you a while to come to grips with it, Kim.
Yeah.
I have not yet done a rewatch.
I like the Lost finale right from the first
watching. It's not a Lost podcast. I've already said enough. You listen to the Lost Initiative. You want to hear my opinion about the finale.
Listen to the Lost Initiative. We're still waiting for that reunion episode, by the way.
I still have it. I haven't edited it. It's so horrible.
Aww.
I'll have to do it.
Did you guys live in like an underground lair under a college when you did that show?
Pardon?
Did you guys live in an underground lair under a college when you did that show?
No.
And put together a Frankenstein monster with an evil professor?
No, unfortunately.
No.
What am I missing?
When you guys finished that show, did you Riley finish that show?
Oh, got it. No.
All right.
Did your essences join together?
We clearly have nothing left to say about this episode.
I blocked all of Riley.
We clearly have nothing left to say, right?
Right.
Correct.
All right.
Come on. There's more jokes.
Jason, how would you rate this episode, sir?
Well, I love this episode. That's why I asked to be on it at the last minute. I'm a fan of this season. I like the grinding depression. When I first watched it, I hope it wouldn't be they would give us a reprieve in this episode, but of course they didn't. So I give it 9 out of 10. Marrying your best friends.
Faux Gabby, your turn.
No, the emotion was really good. I wasn't as big of a fan of all the Harris family versus the Demon family stuff going on in the background. It was supposed to be funny, but it was also like really sad, and I was getting kind of sick of it, especially from Xander's dad.
Mm-hmm.
I was glad that Buffy nearly throttled him. Gosh, Anya was just so beautiful in this episode, and God, it's as if they were just like, all right, let's just let's have Anya list all the things that she's looking forward to, and what she appreciates, and how much how happy she is, and then just kill it. And I don't know. I was very disappointed in Xander. It's very, very disappointed in Xander. So yeah, it kind of ripped my heart out. So again, like Gabby, it provoked emotion. So it wasn't like I was just waiting for it to get over with, and I was kind of bored. I was into it. But it did hurt me quite a bit. So I resented for that. So I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it 7 out of 10 bull parts.
7 out of 10 what? Oh, bull parts. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Kimberly?
I enjoyed this episode. I didn't feel the hatred towards Xander. Yeah, I'm upset that the wedding didn't happen. And of course, what he did is a complete douchey thing. However, I am very proud of him that he didn't go through with the wedding and then have to deal with the disaster of realizing his mistake afterwards. Again, I feel so badly for Anya. She was so excited to get married. All she wanted to do was, be a real girl and get married and, be with her best friend, which was so heartbreaking. Again, a lot of, like you guys were mentioning, a lot of the wedding stuff was sticky, and I thought it was like, ugh, Xander's dad's a complete ugh. And I honestly, I think meeting his parents, I think it paid off because every time that he's ever mentioned his parents or whatever, they were complete assholes and they lived up to it. Well, no, his mom wasn't so much. His dad, definitely.
Mm.
Well, the thing about his mother, she kept asking if she was going to be in the pictures. It was all about her. So obviously she's just self-centered.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But go ahead.
Very, very true. But yeah, I'm just babbling on about everything that we've already talked about. I honestly am so happy for the story's sake that they didn't get married. Of course, I'm not happy for what happened because it's such a terrible thing to have to deal with a wedding not happening after everyone's wants a wedding to happen. Yeah. Anyways, I've babbled on too much. I'm gonna give this one 10 out of. No, I won't give it 10. I'm gonna give it. I was gonna give it 7 out of 10 cufflinks. No. Yeah.
I now hate Xander. I think he totally wimped out. I think he betrayed his love.
He didn't.
That's
the thing. He loved her enough to call it off.
This is Illyria's time.
Yeah.
I know. Whoa. Wow, I'm done.
And
Sorry.
with everything that went on in this episode, I'm forced. I have no choice but to give it a 9 out of 10. A 9 out of 10. Why is that column so short that Xander uses to crush the philanderer's head? Because although I despise Xander and what he did, and I feel for my Anya, this episode was fantastically roller coasterish. It had funny elements, it had annoying elements, it had Spike not going insane, it had Xander's parents being, yeah, caricatures, stereotypes, but what else are they going to do? They don't have time to develop them as characters. They've been voices and ominous figures for 6 seasons.
Uh-huh.
They're going to show up in the wedding episode, and what are you going to do with them? Yeah, they're going to be caricatures. It's fine for me. I don't mind.
Yes.
Xander betraying the love and trust of Anya at the end was, in fact, what had to happen in this episode for there to be more drama and for it to be much more compelling and for us and for them to give us that possible Anya's gonna go on the other side thing again. So it was a fantastic episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hate Xander Harris. Go fuck yourself, Xander.
But if they got married, how boring.
Aww.
You know?
Oh, it could never be boring.
For the story.
The other stuff's going on. Can't Xander and Anya just be happy?
No, because it's Sunnydale.
All right. I think this is a beautiful episode. It's so bright and the colors are gorgeous, even though the green is a yellow green, but that's fine. Whatever. I have pleasant memories visually of this episode. I think Emma Caulfield, her acting is fantastic, and like they said on the commentary, Anya is very human in this episode. She's like the most human she's ever been.
Very, yes.
I mean, it's just so sad that her intentions and her love for Xander is so pure and passionate and strong, and I just, it just did the explanation of why he walked out. It just didn't work for me. So I give it 7 out of 10 unearned dramas. Because Joss always talks about we got to earn the drama, we got to earn the plot point or whatever, and I just don't feel like it was earned.
Interesting.
Well put. Well, that's what we thought. You can let us know what you think. You can email us at
Redemption, no, kidding. PotentialCast at gmail.com.
You can call us with your telephone device. You might want to call us with a 5.5-inch iPhone. Maybe, potentially.
206
Buffy.
40 Buffy.
27040 Buffy. You can follow us on Twitter at PotentialCast. You can go to PotentialCast.com and download episodes individually, or you can subscribe to the podcast with an actual podcast app of some kind. And you can go to the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/PotentialCast. Keep it spoiler free, or I'm going to be really, 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 really annoyed and write a post about spoilers and just annoy everyone with what I'm going to say.
Ooh, and then I can plug the potential spoilers group, the facebook.com/group/potential spoilers. We're doing a recurring characters tournament where your favorite recurring characters are fighting each other to the death to see who's the favorite recurring.
Nice.
That's awesome.
It's amazing.
That's good. Do you have it like bracket style, like Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Yep. I'll share it all in a couple years.
Last year there was one like that on the internet for Star Wars characters, and just recently there was one somewhere online for Saturday Night Live cast members, which was pretty neat. Yeah, poor Joe Piscopo. Hey,
made it early.
Steph, what are we doing next time?
Next time. Normal again.
Well, I hope it's
normal again.
I hope
Uh-oh.
it's is it written by Joss Whedon?
Is it what?
Is it
Isn't
written
it
by
written?
Joss Whedon?
I don't think so.
She
Let's
asked
see.
people in the group to do research for her. She doesn't really know.
Diego Gutierrez.
Diego Gutierrez?
Yes.
You know.
Sounds fantastico. Diego.
All
Yay!
Hey, Jason.
Yes?
Thanks for being our guest.
Are we going to do quotes?
Yeah,
Maybe.
we're going to do quotes. Hey, Jason, what's your quote?
My quote is Carol from the beginning of the episode, predicting the end of it. I'm just saying, don't build castles on the sand, because that's when life hits you with a big sack of crap and your heart breaks like a China doll.
Oh, Carol, you're so smart.
And she's single.
Uncle Rory says, you don't want those. What you really want is Velcro. Did I ever tell you how that was my idea?
Mine is the Hoffren. Oh, Anyanka, I'm sorry, but you let him domesticate you. When you were a vengeance demon, you were powerful at the top of your game. You crushed men like him. It's time you got back to what you do best, don't you think?
Credits.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Sure.
Yep.
I, Anya, promise to love you, to cherish you, to honor you. But not to obey you, of course, because that's anachronistic and misogynistic. And who do you think you are, like a sea captain or something?
Awesome.
My quote is, you glow. That's because the dress is radioactive. That made me literally laugh out loud.
Mm-hmm. Any more?
I have a backup. Shut up!
Yeah.
Lunging. Although it would have been funny if he was like, get out, get out, get out.
Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
That would have been perfect.
It's dead, yep. Is anyone else waiting for it to go poof? Maybe we can cover it with flowers.
Oh, yeah, it didn't go poof. I'm really supposed to be working. I'm one of the caterers.
Oh, you guys, I'm so upset that you hate Xander.
It was my trade. I used to stuff things. I still do, but only for fun.
Super pervy.
Tell her what a funny guy I am, Donnie. All you have to do is sit pretty and laugh when I tell a good one. Oh.
I really hope Xander has a chance to redeem himself.
Maybe on Angel.
Mm-hmm. Hey, maybe he does go to Angel for advice. Who knows? That'd be cool.
So you think the children should be raised in ignorance of our ways?
Yes.
Ooh. All right. Hey, Jason.
Yes.
Thanks for being our guest. We really appreciate it. It was short notice. You won the battle to the death.
You were the first person to reply.
To a very kind of cryptic post. Guest? Question mark.
I was like, are they recording right now and they don't know where the guest is? Or I should just say something in case they're risky. Because I disliked the episode I was on last time so much. I wanted to be on one that I liked.
Well, we don't have a choice. We have to be on the ones we hate. So I'm happy that you were able to have a chance to be on one that you like. Tell us all the podcasts that you're on.
I'm on not as many now, but I'm coming up and doing an Intro to X sometime soon.
Ooh,
when I get into the next season, I have an early episode in season 5, and
I heard that podcast is about to get much better soon.
yes, I will be the Robin on that episode.
Nice. Who's gonna?
Uh-oh.
What? What'd you say?
Who's gonna be Batman?
Byron much? What?
Isn't that a podcast about the 1966 Batman series?
We
No?
missed what you said because you turned Cylon-y.
I did. Oh,
Yeah.
then never mind. Well, that's good to know. I think I'm going to be on the last Robin hosted episode of that show.
Yes.
Ever?
It'll be a momentous occasion. I'm setting.
You're passing the torch along because you're sick of all the negativity?
No, I'm being abducted by aliens.
Oh,
I'm setting
nice.
I'm setting my ship's engines to warp factor snark.
I'll be back to guest though.
Nice. That's awesome. Are you gonna pretend to be a newbie?
No, I'm gonna be my usual know-it-all self.
What? That's not you at all. That's usually me. Thanks again, Jason. Really appreciate it. Robin, thanks for filling in for Gabby.
I fill in a lot of things.
Through really
Corey says
very frustrating times of things that she doesn't want to be doing right now, and our heart goes out to Gabby right now. She's doing really boring stuff instead of having fun with us. Yeah, everyone, thanks for watching and listening. We hope you appreciate the show. We appreciate you listening. Hey, feel free to go to iTunes and write a review. I know that.
And make sure it's a good one.
So, no, you can write a shitty review if you want. Yeah, be honest.
No, thanks.
Right? Although why you would be listening to something you think is shitty is beyond me, and you probably have some very severe issues and you hate yourself.
I know, right?
Well, I'm doing a podcast of the podcast, so I have to watch every episode.
Oh my god.
True. So, yeah, feel free to write a review. I know no one has, since I've been asking. I haven't checked super recently, but, hey, come on, people.
It's hard to find your show. Doesn't come up when you search Buffy.
Yeah, just type PotentialCast, the name of the podcast.
Well, if I knew the name, I wouldn't have to be trying to find it. No, I know how to leave a review. I just mean it's hard to find you when you're a new listener.
Yeah? Let's see if I can change that. After a million other things I have to do. Thanks again. And until next time.
What do we have to do next week, Steph?
We did that.
We did this. Diego.
Did we do that?
Well, we can do it again.
Gutierrez.
Diego
I must have
wrote
accidentally fallen
normal
asleep
again.
Was that you?
I can't.
Probably.
It must have been Kim. It was probably Kim who was snoring. I love it. It was the first time I heard you snore. Great.
Oh my god, I have to be up in 4 hours. So.
Yeah. I know. It's okay. Thanks, everyone.
I'm
Until next time.
narcoleptic
Goodbye.
Bye.
Grrrg. Good night.